This message is for Elon Musk, his little weird club of lost boys following him around, Vivek Ramaswamy, and everyone else in your little orbit that seems to think that we don't need regulations. For context, I've had my Haswhopper 40 for about 10 years, not quite yet. Every single fucking regulation was written in blood. Every single fucking regulation was written in blood. And if any of you little computer science engineer types had ever taken a humanities course of any level, you would have gone over so many of these kinds of things that show that every regulation was written in blood. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a quick refresher on why every regulation was written in blood. We're going to start with one of the most popular things to point to, I think it's thalidomide. Why thalidomide led to one of the biggest sets of regulations on drugs and what we can do to pregnant women's bodies, what kind of medications are allowed to be in what bodies. This was horrific. I know you've seen thalidomide taken by pregnant women. It was given as like if I remember correctly, it was given as like an anti-nausea medication. It was and like potentially anti-inflammatory, but like anti-nausea medication for pregnant women in the 1950s and 60s. That led to tens of thousands of people being born with horrific birth defects. And I'm not saying any of this to be disabled, but meaning that the medication was directly responsible for all of the birth defects. And the most common one was a malformation of all of the limbs, period. For anybody who wants more background information to go read, start there. Another kind of regulation that we absolutely fucking require is any sort of EPA protections that protect our environment from the dangers and pollutions that we put into it as an industrialized people, as a global people. We pour so many pollutants into the environment that in the 70s they had acid rain. Elon Musk, I know you're old enough to know about acid rain. How are you this dumb to be like, we don't need regulations? Who cares? Girly pop, it was melting buildings. We need regulation. This one's a little bit closer to my wheelhouse. What I do as a CRM archaeologist is often in tandem to the biologists that run through and protect riparian areas around construction sites, especially as we extend further and further into previously wild areas. So riparian areas are required to prevent flooding, to help us absorb water through flooding. But they're also one of the first points of pollution, like removal and retention naturally in the environment. We need riparian areas, which are usually one of the first regulations that corporations and developers point to as needing to be gotten rid of. Now we're going to get into something a little bit more, relevant to the last 5 years for some stupid reason. Child labor. Child labor, as we all know, was common. The children yearn for the mines. Yeah, we get that. However, it was this set of photos. If you go to this article, you're going to see the set of photos that were taken in the a little over 100 years ago, the first part of last century, that showed the rest of the American public, the wealthier voting public whose children were not involved in this, just how fucking horrific child labor actually was. Because at this point in time, children were largely working either in coal mines. This is why it's a joke about children in the mines. In coal mines, in horrific places without clothes on, and mostly in cotton mills and textile mills, because they were small enough to get in between the machines, except they were being fucking crushed to death in these machines. They were dying in mining accidents, and we decided as a people that, hey, maybe killing our toddlers in bomb explosions or in the middle of sharp, pointy fucking textile mills is a bad idea, and we should have like a little bit more compassion, like that Jesus fella told us about, just maybe. Here's another explainer. If you don't want to listen to me ramble about it, you can look it up for yourself. The article that has me heated right now is this one, and particularly this quote: Elon Musk, you're a fucking moron. There are so many reasons why people who know anything about anything know that you don't. This is one of them. This is, boy, you never studied a single fucking humanities class. Boy, you never listened to a single thing about what the poors were doing, what the horrors of poverty looked like. You're going to destroy people. And I thought you really cared about children, Elon Musk. I thought children were your biggest concern, but you want to roll back regulations that will make children die in work environments that you think they should be able to be just thrown at, because we don't need regulations. We don't need to have people protected. We don't need regulations like what kind of fucking hard hat I can wear, or what color vest I can wear, or what kind of steel toe boot I'm wearing. No. We just got to see how many people we can maim before we throw all the poor people at Mars, right? No, bro, you don't fucking know what you're talking about. So for one last time, every regulation was written in blood. America, don't let go of these protections that we literally died for as a collective people. Every regulation was written in blood.